All right, everybody, we are here again with our educator champion, this time for the middle school and the high school winner educator champion, distance learning champion, Jessica Diaz from Bullard Talent. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning, and thank you so much. Whoever nominated me, that was an amazing surprise.
Yeah, it's great. We actually had multiple people that nominated you for your work during this distance learning period. Both of them just were amazed by the things that you were doing. So why don't you tell us a little bit? We have some pictures posted on our Facebook account. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing during this distance learning period.
Sure. Well, to get started, I'm a math teacher at Bullard Talent. I teach 8th grade math, Algebra 1 and Math 8. And just coming from a background of math can be a little bit of a struggle. I thought it was going to be super crucial for our students to have paper and pencil. And our principal let us go back to campus and get our materials and whatever we wanted to gather. And I saw all of my students' books and their material, and I was like, I got to grab all that stuff and figure out how to get that back to my students. So what my daughter and myself did, we created all of the packets and the modules for our students, or for my students, and I had a grab and go party in my parking lot. And it was an opportunity for me to celebrate my 8th graders, because so sad due to the circumstances, I'm not going to be able to see them again. So I wanted to celebrate them, so I put all their names on papers. So whenever they came by, they saw that I included them somehow or another. I put messages and quotes on my windows. My daughter decorated our driveway amazing with her chalk art. And it was just a little opportunity for me to let them know that they're constantly on my heart, on my mind, and that I'm thinking about them. And I wanted them to have their paper pencil material, so when I'm teaching them on Google Classroom, they can actually have something in front of them versus trying to do math from the computer, which sometimes I think could be challenging.
Right. I think a lot of educators have run into different challenges during this distance learning model. And we know that our math teachers, or at least from my perspective, it seems like math would be very, very difficult.
Yes.
Because we're used to writing things on the whiteboard. And how does that translate to, the distance learning model? And so it's, obviously a challenge, but it seems like you are getting through.
Right.
What are some things that you've learned as an educator during this time?
Wow. Oh my goodness. As an educator, I just feel like you really learn how important routines are, and how to try to keep that going, not only for yourself, but to kind of keep that routine for your students, because they're so used to that routine being prescribed from you, that it's really hard when everything's kind of up in the air. So I think that's been really hard, trying to maintain a consistent routine for everybody involved.
Yeah, definitely something hard to do during distance learning, but I'm sure that you've had some good response. I saw some of the pictures. We've shared some of the pictures online. Just seemed like a fun process, this grab and go party.
It really was.
Artwork. I would imagine you had a lot of participants that came.
I did have a lot of participants, about half of my 8th grade parents, and I drove by and picked up their material. And even if they couldn't come that day, I was like, just shoot me an email. I will put it on my porch. Just, there's no excuses. Come and get it. I don't care what time, what day. I didn't make it limiting, but it was really fun to get feedback from the parents and the students. They seemed very, very appreciative. So that made me feel really good to have done that for them.
Well, thank you so much for your work with your students. Obviously, I know we've had an opportunity to speak prior to distance learning, and I know that you've done a great job prior to, and then during this time. Thank you so much for that. I want to end with a couple of questions in some things that we've learned and some things that may be good and bad. And so what has been the biggest challenge? I know you talked a little bit about routine. Has there been something else that's been the biggest challenge during this distance learning period?
I think definitely it's creating equity for the students, making sure that you're reaching everybody. And the reality of it, that is the challenge, that we're not able to dive through the computer and reach every home We don't know the circumstances that they may be facing. And I think that definitely is the biggest challenge of not feeling that I'm connecting to all of my students the way I wish I could.
Absolutely. And just prior to us doing this interview, you were very humbled and saying, "Wow, I just doing what I think I should do," and that is definitely the heart of educators in general, right? Just making sure that they're meeting the needs of their students, and yeah, it's
Yes.
still, in my opinion, going above and beyond. And again, you could see some of the pictures on there. And so, as we wrap up, what's something that's been a pleasant surprise in all of this? I know that there's been a lot of challenges for sure, but I'm sure there's also some pleasant surprises that have happened during this time.
I think it's just the support from my parents. My students are so sweet. They will send me emails. Even I've gotten a couple little letters that have just melted my heart. And the support from staff and our principals, like everything has just been really easygoing and pleasantly surprising that we just, no matter how far we are, we're still able to collaborate and be a part of the Bullard Talent team, which I'm really lucky to be a part of. I love working for Bullard Talent.
Yeah, that's definitely great to hear. It really brings to the core some important things, whether it be relationships with our students or
Mhm.
relationships with each other. And so, thank you so much for your time, Jessica. And again, thank you again as being nominated by multiple of your multiple people, multiple colleagues. Thank you so much, and I
Thank you
hope
as
that
well.
everybody enjoy this time. And I hope that you and your family remain in good health.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yes, you too.
Okay, bye bye.